Hi everyone, and welcome to our junior planning night. Tonight we're going to talk about a bunch of things, exploring your options, deciding what's best for you, whatever direction you pursue. The process is basically you're going to meet with your high school counselor. You're going to get informed decisions from doing things like visiting the colleges, maybe an interview process and going over that with your counselor, how to prepare for an interview, meeting with college admission counselors. We want you to keep a sense of humor, and definitely if you haven't done so before, check out the College and Planning Guide on our counseling website. During the winter and spring months, juniors can schedule their junior conference with parents. Juniors and parents have to submit their questionnaires just so that we can prepare for the meeting. We ask for at least 5 school days for that. Juniors will meet with their counselors in seminar class throughout the third quarter. We'll work on many things. You're going to begin and continue with visiting colleges. Students will investigate colleges and do research. We'll get you onto Naviance so that you can use that as a tool. We'll have you ask your teachers in person to write you letters of recommendation. We'll have you register for the SAT or the ACT and AP exams in May, registering for the NCAA website if appropriate. And then during junior seminar, all juniors will be scheduled, usually with their own counselor and during a free period. You're in small groups of about 10 students. That encourages your participation. Only third quarter, it meets about once every 8-day rotation for the total of 5 sessions, and attendance is mandatory. You guys are going to love it. Here are some of the topics that we cover during junior seminar. There's a timeline. We create a Common App account together. Senior year courses, and we do our registration for that, picking those classes out. We do college search tools and developing a list. We'll go over the college essay, college interview, and college visits. We'll talk about managing stress, and everything will be there for you in Google Classroom so you can reference it as you need. The main components that colleges use for selecting students are the transcript, standardized testing, if required, because many schools are now test optional, the college essay, recommendations from your teachers and your counselor, activities list or resume, possibly an interview if they do that, and additional requirements depending on if you're an art student, music student, etc. The DHS transcript, I always tell students that's the most important thing that the admissions offices get. They look at your GPA and the strength of the curriculum. It shows semester grades only, so no quarter grades, no exam grades. Usually includes your weighted GPA. We do not report ranking or SAT or ACT scores. You guys will go to the testing companies and have those sent if you want to for the college process. Standardized tests. How SAT or ACT scores are reviewed varies by college. Some colleges have test optional policies. Many colleges now do not require standardized testing. Practice is key, so we'll get you some information about how to practice for those tests. The PSAT results will be posted on your College Board account, which will be a nice resource. And then there is a Connecticut State SAT test that we will use for the state exam in the spring. Testing procedures, basically you want to register ahead of time for these. Students have to create their own accounts on these websites. You'll need a photo ID for registration and admission, and no testing center changes or test date changes on the day of a test. It has to be done prior. So just make sure that you bring these things with you to the test. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. And that, again, it's more important how you do every day than any test. But these are the details, and we'll go over that with you. Recommendations. So counselors write letters of recommendation for each of their students. Colleges typically require 1 or 2 teacher recommendation letters. Usually we want to identify these in the spring of your junior year. Sometimes there's other recommendation letters that you want to get through someone that you know through employment, maybe a coach. And then quality is much more important than quantity. The summer before your senior year, You're going to continue to research more colleges. You're going to continue to visit them. You're going to work on and get maybe a completed college essay by the time you come back to us in the fall. We will help with that when you come back in the fall as well. Review your application requirements. If you have a portfolio for art student, an audition for music or theater students, and then anybody can really submit portfolios if they're interested. For example, for art, you might, do a portfolio review anyway. Begin or continue your work on the Common Application.
In the fall of senior year, you are going to continue to meet with your counselor individually and in seminar to discuss where you are in the application process. We will also help to narrow down your choices if you're finding that you have too many colleges on your list. You'll continue to register for the SAT or ACT if needed if you're still testing in the fall, and you'll also be wrapping up any campus visits. Students will begin submitting their transcript request forms once they've decided which colleges they would like to apply to. This will all be covered during students' senior seminar, which take place in the first quarter. 12th grade seminar follows the same format as junior seminar. The topics that are covered include senior year timeline, working on students' Common App accounts, reviewing the transcript request forms, learning about and completing the FERPA waivers, and officially requesting teacher letters of recommendation. We will discuss the relevant topic of stress management, as well as talking about the possible decision outcomes, and finally, preparing students for the senior internship program. There are a lot of deadlines that go along with these applications, some of which include ED1 and ED2, both of which are binding agreements, as well as early action, which is non-binding. These deadlines tend to begin in October into mid-November. Both these application types can result in students hearing back from the college earlier, oftentimes in December or January. There are also regular deadlines, which tend to be due in January and beyond, and rolling, where schools will make decisions as they receive the applications. Campus visits are a very important part of college research. Students can make an appointment for in-person tours or take advantage of virtual tours and information sessions. Before a visit or information meeting, students should prepare questions to ask tour guides or admission counselors. Not only can these serve as great resources for information, but it also can be considered as demonstrated interest, which some colleges track and can give a student an advantage come decision time. Students are also welcome to see their counselor, and we are always happy to put them in touch with DHS alumni, who are usually more than willing to answer any questions current seniors might have. We are in the middle of college rep visits right now, as it's traveling season for college admissions. We have approximately over 200 college meetings each year. Most of them are in person, and they offer a lot of information and can also be a great way to show demonstrated interest. There are also several college fairs that take place in the area, and some colleges offer high school students the opportunity to interview as well. Everyone that applies for financial aid will need to complete the FAFSA form online. This year, there will be an updated form, which is expected to be available in December of students' senior year. Some other schools will require families to complete the CSS profile, which can be completed in the fall of senior year. Please keep in mind, this form can have a per school fee associated with it. After students have completed their college applications, all students should pay attention to scholarships that might be available to help offset the cost of tuition. Students can search Naviance or websites like www.fastweb.org or pay attention to school announcements at the start of second semester for information about local community scholarships. Students should see their counselors if they have questions or need any help with this process. At this point in a student's academic career, we encourage them to be their own best self-advocates. Please keep in mind, their counselor is here to help support them along the way. The goal is to prepare them to be successful for the next step in life after high school. In preparation for senior year, Darien Summer School and Enrichment offers classes taught by Darien High School school counselors. One is the College Application Workshop, another is Writing the College Application Workshop, and a third is a combination of the two classes. Keep an eye on the DSS catalog, which typically is released in January, for more details. Here we have some links for useful websites for the college application process. Many of these sites will be discussed and reviewed in guidance seminars such as the DHS Counseling Department website and the Common App site, and others will be included in the students' Google Classrooms. Here we have a list of the workshops that are included in this year's Junior Planning Night. Thanks for attending, and as always, please feel free to contact your child's school counselor anytime with any questions about the college application workshop or anything else you or your student might need help with. Thank you.